Welcome, my dear students, to the next part of the network protocols of the computer networks class 12th. Let's get started. So, in the last video, we discussed about TCP/IP. We discussed about HTTP. We discussed about UDP. We discussed about IP, and we have already done FTP protocol. So now today is the turn of some more important protocols of computer networks. Let's come to the HTTP, the very famous protocol used worldwide for the data transfer, that is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. What is the main purpose of this protocol? It is used to fetch the web pages from the server. We have oftenly seen that in the front of my URL there is one thing written, that is HTTP. This protocol controls the all contents of the web page on the sender side also, and as well as the receiver side also. But nowadays we are using one more version of HTTP, and that is HTTPS, which is more secure as compared to HTTP. So what's make my HTTP protocol a secure one? For that thing, we must understand that what is SSL. SSL means Secure Socket Layer. This is the protocol. This is basically a cryptography protocol which provides security over internet communication. Earlier, we call this protocol as TLS, but now we call this protocol as SSL. So, how HTTP works? We all understand this thing. There is a sub protocol in the HTTPS which actually works for HTTPS. What is that protocol? It is SSL. So, SSL works on the two fundamental things. One is asymmetric cryptography and other one is symmetric cryptography. Children, these two things are not in your syllabus. If you want to, you can skip this part if you don't want to listen, but for the better understanding I felt like I must tell you. Asymmetric cryptography. It is also known as a asymmetric encryption or public key cryptography. Before moving further, we must understand this thing, that what is cryptography or encryption. Encryption, the meaning of encryption is to change my readable text into unreadable form. That means no one can even make out from that thing that what is written. Okay, this is known as encryption. For that thing to be possible, we need mathematical related key pairs. We have certain algorithms. We make programs in some good language or in some networking client side scripting languages, through which we can create a kind of a key pair. One is known as a public key and one is known as a private key. The public key is always sent or shared with anyone who is interested in the communication, and the other part is always kept secret. But so when data can be signed with private key, but they can only be decrypted using the related public key in pair. So whenever we have both the keys with us, only then the data will be decrypted, or it is change into a readable form. Otherwise, if you don't have any of the key, then your data will remain the encrypted one. Then we have a symmetric cryptography. Symmetric cryptography only use one key that encrypts also and decrypts the data. Both sender and receiver should have this key, which is only known to them. So this is the two methods through which HTTPS works. Now comes the very important part of our syllabus, that is the difference between or the two versions of IP protocol. In my earlier sessions I have discussed with you that IP protocol is basically responsible for the sending of my packets to the destination, okay, to the desired destination. So this is the main job of the IP, that is to send the or to make to it is responsible for the proper delivery of the packets at the destination. So nowadays there are two versions of the IP which works for the transmission of the packets. One is IPv4 and another one is IPv6. So now let's discuss the both the versions of IP protocol. Let's come to IPv4. Internet Protocol is one of the major protocol of TCP/IP protocol suite. So this protocol is responsible for identifying hosts based upon their logical address and route the data among them under the underlying network. So how our Internet Protocol IPv4 looks like? It looks like, I'll show you the next slide first. It looks like this. This is the format of IPv4, in which we have 4 octets which is separated by the periods. We have 4 octets separated by the periods, and they must have a decimal value between 0 to 255. Okay, if you want to know the very detail of the IPv4 classes, then you can please visit this particular site, tutorialspoint.com. So Internet Protocol is a layer 3 protocol, and which takes data segment from layer 4. That means from layer 4 it will take the data to layer 3. So at the layer 3 it will add one IP header. In this header the destination address is always added. Then comes IPv6. IPv6 is the advanced version of IPv4 developed by IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force. It has two formats, pure IP format and dual IP v6 plus IPv4 format. That means in one format I am using purely the IPv6 version, and in the dual format I am using the combination of both. So in this particular IPv6 format I have 8 segments separated by columns. As you can see in the example, there are 8 segments, and the value these segments can take between any hexadecimal value, that is from 0 to 15. You all know the hexadecimal values. So if I have a 2 column, that means all the 8 segments are 0. If I have 2 values written after 2 columns, that means all 6 segments are 0. Then comes dual IPv6. Dual IPv6 is a combination of IPv6 and IPv4. So you can see in the figure, here I am having IPv4 and here I am having IPv6. Again, Y is a segment having a decimal value, and IPv4 portion is called octet, having the decimal value between 0 to 255. So this is the basic format and the basic structure of IPv4 and IPv6. I hope you like the video. Thank you so much.